What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear, and the homie Carter presents. Welcome to the 183rd episode of the Blerd Cave. I apologize profusely for the delay. It was honestly unavoidable. Yeah, that's all I can really say there. Just know that just know we were trying. We really were. We were desperately trying to get back to you. So I guess to explain what was going on there is my computer was just kind of doing its own thing, and it may still be doing its own thing. So if the stream just kind of randomly stops, and I hope to God that it doesn't. If the stream just for whatever reason just randomly says bye-bye, it wasn't something that we planned. It was unlike was it last week, Carter, when we had when my internet just or the week before. Okay, so yeah, that week or whatever it was when my internet just kind of shit the bed and was like, we out. That was not planned either. That was an internet issue. But like this today, yes, something was going on my computer. OBS was being a whole bitch. And so yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna stay on this. Not even gonna harp on it because honestly, the time I'd rather spend that time talking about stuff that actually matters. Is what I'm gonna say here. But for those who don't know, yes, the Blerd Cave. I'm not even doing my normal spiel here because I'm just so irritated. If no one can tell. But no, today the plan was to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. So that is what we're going to do. Before we do that, I do want to do a couple of housekeeping, bits of housekeeping, just to kind of at least make it feel like we're kind of doing our normal shtick. First and foremost, welcome to the Blerd Cave, #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse that you can find not just here on YouTube. You can actually find us on tons of other platforms because I've also added some. You can already find us on Apple, Google, Spotify in audio format. You can also now find us on iHeartRadio, as well as a few other places that I have recently added.
Word?
So yeah. We are everywhere. I think the only places that we are not available, like just right off rip. Let's see here. I have the full list in front of me. We are available. We are available on Apple, as I've already stated, Google, as already stated, Overcast, as already stated, Amazon, as I already stated, iHeartRadio, you can find us there. You can also find us on Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and you can also find us on Stitcher. So you can literally find us pretty much everywhere. And I do highly advise that you go do that. Go check us out on those various and sundry different platforms, whatever. Also, regardless of what platform you find us on, especially if you find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, don't forget to leave a rating because those really help spread the podcast out, get it to all the right eyes and ears. And I don't know, I've been kind of debating this. I know we have the ability through Spotify to actually upload the Blerd Cave itself. Don't know if I'm interested in doing that just yet, but apparently it's a thing. Because technically, even on Spotify, you can choose to just listen to it or watch it if you want. It's up to you. Don't really care. That's your prerogative. But if you listen in there, don't forget that rating. Also, another bit of business that I want to bring up. We have a promotion going on right now. Actually, I haven't told Carter this. It'll be a surprise to him as well. So many of you may or may not know, and if you look up in the top, right corner, if you look up there, you'll see the Blerd.com website. Don't be alarmed. This actually isn't even anything new. Blerd.com and I have been partnered for a long time, and they have always been incredibly supportive of the channel. But something that one of the heads of the site had texted me the other day, and we both were kind of thinking the same thing. He was like, it's like, I don't know why we've never done this before, but we're gonna do it now. So right now, if you go to Blerd.com. I'm gonna pull that back just for a second. Because I just realized something. You won't be able to hear me if I go over there. You won't be able to hear anything I'm saying. But let's see here. I'm going to I'm messing with something real quick, y'all. Don't pay me no mind, just for a split second. I want to make sure of some things. But no, I want to make sure that you can still hear both Carter and myself when we,
there was a lot of stuff going on in the background to make sure that this Blerd Cave at least happened for everybody. Yes. I can't even see Ernie right now.
No, okay? He cannot. No,
I had to go on YouTube and see him like all y'all asses. All right.
Look, I'm so scared that the thing is just gonna restart. So yeah, we're just.
I'm scared you gonna play Guardians and the whole thing gonna explode.
And that's honestly why I'm seriously considering not even playing the trailer. We're just gonna do a breakdown and call it even. And then I'm gonna turn on so you can see here in just a moment, and hopefully that doesn't shit the bed either. But hold on, uno momento, por favor, y'all. I am placing some things in place because I want y'all to be able to see what I'm talking about here. Okay.
You're doing that.
Oh, well, I mean, I've already done it.
Sweet.
So here, bam, it's fixed. So right now, if you go to Blerd.com and you use the promo code Blerd without fear, all one word, it doesn't matter the case. It can be uppercase, lowercase. You can put you can uppercase the B and leave everything else lowercase. Don't matter. It's not case sensitive. Go to Blerd.com. You type in the promo code Blerd without fear. You will get 20% off the entire shop. So go take advantage. Please and thank you.
That's dope that's a thing, but at the same time, I kind of feel like we should have some stuff up there somewhere, man. I feel
that is in the works.
I feel like there should be some Blerd without fear stuff. I feel like there should be some Council of Carter merch somewhere.
I'm actually going to be talking with Terrell about that. One of the heads of Blerd.com. There's a lot of stuff. We're just gonna leave it at that. There's a lot of stuff in the background right now. Also, for those who don't know, too, I am no longer affiliated. Not that I ever really talked about it because it was such a train wreck of a deal. I am no longer affiliated with Frederator. So I can actually talk about it now. I'll talk about it later in the show because we do have so much other shit to talk about. So for those who are interested to hear about that whole debacle, I was actually waiting. I was originally going to say something about it when the day of, or the cave of or whatever the first cave after that. But I wanted to make sure those hoes paid me first. So because they were responsible for my last paycheck.
How about this? How about we keep the Blerd Cave pure? And then you just bring back a special keeping it plus ultra, because you gonna keep it plus ultra for this deal.
Oh no, it's gonna it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. Like I said,
Apple, Stitcher. I didn't even know you still existed. iHeartRadio exclusive. We just do it like that.
Yeah. Look, just keep it locked. We will. I will talk about it at some point. Yeah, but yeah, we'll keep this pure. I'm not gonna play the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, Carter, I'm gonna try. I'm going to attempt this. And actually, here, I want to see some first before I do. let's do this first. I'm gonna turn something on, and if I don't see something favorable, I'm gonna turn it off. So here, let's do this. Let's turn on the virtual cam.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual cam is on. It did not change anything. Okay, so now y'all are probably gonna see some wild shit here in just a sec, because Carter's cam is gonna go all over the place. But here, let's. Yep, that's it right there. Bam. Bam. And can you see everything, Carter?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It didn't change anything. I mean, Discord's running a little high, but that's okay. I think we can. Oh no, drop back down. Okay, it'll be okay. I'm not that worried about it. It's not that big a deal. Okay. I hear you. Looking at
you know what's gonna be funny? I tell you what's gonna be funny about this whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm getting vibes of the Spider-Man episode that did not happen. When you talk about with Fred, yeah. When you talk about this whole Fred already thing, I feel like it's gonna be about that Spider-Man episode that we just did not put out. This is gonna be the Spider-Man episode we didn't put out. This is gonna be hilarious. This is gonna be hilarious.
For those wondering what Hiryu was talking about, he was talking about this. That's how I'm looking at him. Looking at him like Mern did. Mern like, man, y'all go put some respect on my name, goddammit. Anyway. But no, I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and jump into it. For those who don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
The trailer came out. We're not going to take a look at it because I'm trying to keep this computer from just blowing the fuck up while we're in the middle of this. So we're gonna do a full breakdown of the trailer, everything that I feel is of note with this. For those who for whatever reason, if you haven't been keeping up, the Marvel Studios put the trailer out a few days, just about 2 days ago, a couple of days ago, for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Laughing with Batista Part 3.
I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be much laughing in this one, outside of this motherfucker right here got bopped with the goddamn ball. Lord have mercy.
Already.
Look. We
already getting the birthday funds. We're already getting it.
Right? I was gonna say too. Yeah, I guess we can bring that up. So for those who don't know, you're technically going to be getting back-to-back Blerd Caves over the next couple of weeks, because this week is, I think technically yours is on the 5th, right?
Yeah, mine's Monday.
Yeah, yours is Monday. So Carter's birthday is this coming Monday, the 5th. Mm-hmm. Mine is the 10th, and we will actually be live during my birthday.
That's some shit. Why can't I get to live on my birthday?
Right. Hey, man, look, I'm just saying, man, you should have been on the 3rd, man. Should have been on the 3rd.
My birthday is never on an interesting day to do shit. It's been like that for quite a long time.
Damn.
It's always something where it's either a bill got to be paid, I got to work, somebody want to go somewhere else. You're scared to shit out of me, man.
It wasn't.
Don't do that.
Look, that wasn't. No one heard anything you said that last like few seconds. But no, I say all that because I was trying to I forgot to set up the live chat, so now we can actually see what's we can actually highlight chat here on the screen. So that was my bad, y'all. It wasn't y'all. That was 100% me that time. But no, Jonathan Boda with the 99.99 hitting us for that max damage in Final Fantasy. He got us. We're dead. He got us. Says, congratulations on the moves. A great way to start the new month. Also, get those likes up. God damn it. I added the goddamn it.
You stopped talking for a second. So
Hmm.
when you said it got us, I thought the shit died. Don't do that again.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, apologies. I don't want to scare anybody.
Oh shit.
But no, y'all are good. Y'all are good. It's okay. Keep it locked. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Uh, let's see here. Also, I want to go back. I want to double check something too, because I know, you know, while we're usually doing these things, all kinds of craziness and chicanery, shenanigans, and shifuckery is always going on. I want to make sure I'm double checking. Okay, cool. We're good. Okay, we haven't missed anything. But yes. Thank you, Jonathan Moda. You're the man. that was all I need to say. You're the man. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming up. And this one I'm not gonna lie, this looks to be, whereas the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was like a very fun space opera, where Volume 2 was like space opera with daddy issues and maybe a little more Drax and Mantis shenanigans than I would have cared for. Not to the level that
Batista, Volume 2. That's the name of that movie.
you haven't even seen it. You haven't even seen it, so you can't even say nothing. you going off what Bishop said.
No, it's what you're saying about all of them. And I'm trying to keep the music thing with Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. The way you described the first one was like someone's debut album. And then you get to the second album to where not as strong as the first one, but still a solid album.
I would disagree.
Okay.
I actually don't think that the second Guardians movie is any worse than like the first one. I think it's the same thing I've always said about Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Like, everybody likes to say that Avengers Age of Ultron is like terrible, but the thing is, it's not that it's terrible, it's just the fact that it didn't wow audiences the same way that the first one did, because you've already seen Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, so on and so forth. You've already seen them team up against a threat. So they weren't adding anything to the movie that you hadn't seen before. And I think that's why a lot of people usually come down on Age of Ultron so hard, is because they had expectations that it was going to be, you know, like they were going to see something that literally they'd never seen before. And while there were some things, I don't think it didn't go the way I think a lot of people had. The movie that I think people had made up in their mind was different than the movie that they actually got. And I think it's the same thing with Guardians Volume 2. Like, honestly, Guardians Volume 2 is a largely inoffensive movie. Like, the only one thing I'll criticize this movie for is, there's probably, like, the whole bit between Rocket and Star-Lord in the second movie. I feel like I felt like they were retreading ground from the first movie, only they just put it on steroids. And there is there was a lot of Baby Groot shenanigans and a lot of Drax shenanigans, but not in the way that it didn't bother, neither bothered me. It's just that if it was me personally, I would have dialed it back just a little bit. If it was me, if I was the one in charge, I'd have done it. It would have been a little less funny in some spots, but that's kind of what it was supposed to be. So it's like, it's whatever. You know, I don't give a shit.
And correction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I watched Volume 2. I just didn't finish Volume 2.
Oh, well. When you finish it, you can come back and tell me about it. The deal is with this one. This one seems like, it's gonna have the same shenanigans. There's funny business going on throughout the trailer. It also kind of seems like it's gonna have a somewhat more serious tone. Like, I mean, let's be real. It's James Gunn. James Gunn doesn't really do super serious very often. Like, even when he does do super serious, there's still moments of levity and silliness. I would even challenge you, go watch Brightburn. Brightburn's not a serious movie the entire time. Well, it's probably the closest thing I think he's made to a serious movie in some time. It's still got some moments in there where you're like, oh, wow, y'all went there. Okay.
The second movie that's been more of the light, funny side of things that's going more serious, because Ant-Man looks like it's going to go more serious. This is looking like it's going to go more serious. And I wonder if that's a way to like just to end things with the third film in these franchises, just try to end things a lot more seriously than lighthearted. With the exception being Thor.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. For the longest time, everyone thinks that you have to end, or not end. Everyone thinks that the second movie has to be Empire Strikes Back. Don't know why that's the case, but every film series that tries to be a trilogy, successfully or unsuccessfully, they all feel like, oh, we got to go Empire. We have to go Empire Strikes Back with this one. And it's like, and what that means is, because Empire Strikes Back, whereas A New Hope was more, or Episode 4, whatever, the original Star Wars movie, whatever, it depends on how much you pay attention to that sort of thing. That movie was a more not lighthearted, it was a more hopeful affair, as it is called, A New Hope. But The Empire Strikes Back is supposed to be like the, but you thought, movie. Everyone tries to copy that. And I kind of like it when movies don't. So I think that's also another reason why I think sometimes when people come out with a sophomore effort, that people are like, oh, yeah, that one didn't hit right. Because you're probably already in your head, you've been trained by Hollywood to expect a darker movie on the second go-around. And Age of Ultron went that direction, sort of, but not at the same time. And, Thor the Dark World tried to go that direction in both name and deed.
I respect the fact that you brought it up, because I was thinking about it.
Well, I mean, Thor the Dark World, I always love it because Thor the Dark World is the one MCU movie that's so forgettable when everyone tries to claim that so-and-so film is the worst movie in the MCU. That's how memory proof Thor the Dark World is, because everyone forgets about it. It's like, y'all sitting here talking about these movies like y'all gonna act like Thor the Dark World did not happen. Okay.
Is it a bad movie because everything about it is awful, or is it just bad because it's forgettable?
I think it's bad. Well, I think it's bad because it's forgettable. Because I don't remember, honestly, outside of Christopher Eccleston and Adebisi, I don't remember nothing else. Honestly, I don't even remember Kat Dennings. I actually forgot she was in the movie for as much as she was. But no, this movie is going in a different direction. First and foremost, first thing I want to point out, just kind of going through the trailer, is the inclusion of the Dan Abnett era Guardians of the Galaxy costumes, which I love. This is actually, like, for me, this is my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy fit. Like, I like it when they have these costumes. This is actually, well, to be fair, the Dan Abnett Guardians of the Galaxy, where these costumes came to play, is what got me back into reading the Guardians of the Galaxy comics when the movie was, like, on the way of coming out. Because I was like, I don't really know about all this stuff, and I was like, where should I start? And I was like, I forget who it was I was talking to at a comic shop. They was like, yeah, pick up this Dan Abnett. And I was like, all right, and it was off to the races. I loved it. So yeah, I mean, we got that. Looks cool, looks great. Everybody is in their costumes, looking like
all
bosses.
That shit did was remind me I need to finish the game, because that's what I have everyone wearing in the game.
This man, he ain't even finished the game, y'all. Lord,
God of War, dude.
Dude, no, you mean?
Well, let me not.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna be like you. God of War. Whack-na-rock. There you go.
No, I'm sitting here trying to get the platinum for no other reason than I have this idea in my head to like post it online that I got the platinum for Ragnarok, and I'm just gonna put 2018 was still better than this. Like
Man, this man, you ain't shit.
I'm 10 trophies off. I have to do it now.
Damn. Anyway, we know the villain of this movie, as I showed off earlier, is gonna be Chuck Woody Iwuji's the High Evolutionary, which, to be fair, we technically saw a taste. We saw a taste of his High Evolutionary during San Diego Comic-Con. I know a lot of people kind of had their various and sundry thoughts about it, but at the end of the day, that was kind of one of those scenarios. It just kind of was what it was. It wasn't anything like his... and I'm gonna zoom this in just so we can kind of get a better look at him. But
I didn't even realize that was him at first.
Yeah, that's Mern. That's Mern from Peacemaker.
That's such a nasty name.
hey, that's his name though. I want to point out something because I saw a publication. I want to catch people before this gets out of hand. Mm-hmm. See that girl right there with the white hair?
Mm-hmm.
People were online trying to say, "Ooh, that's Black Swan." From the Jonathan Hickman run.
No, I heard the complete opposite. I heard that's Ileana from New Mutants.
Oh, bro.
They say
Get the fuck out of my
Queen,
face.
They said that's Queen's Gambit, bro. That's her, bro.
Look, hey, look. hey, y'all need to leave Princess Peach alone. Look. Anyway. I'm not a huge fan of the look.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the look. I was hoping, and I get it. I know why James Gunn didn't go for this look, because I'm sure that pulling this off would have been incredibly difficult. But the look I was hoping for was this. I was hoping for the comic look. I was hoping for the comics accurate look. But once again, we can't always get comics accurate, so I understand. I'm not going to be that old curmudgeon you see on Twitter and Reddit complaining, well, in the comics, he's supposed to look like that. No, I'm just saying, I get why they went this direction. I get why, because...
Why did Witch Dr. Strong say the High Evolutionary got that President Superman hairline?
Man...
I gotta leave Brian Ellis alone.
Leave that man alone. He done nothing wrong. He done nothing wrong this week, man. No, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I see anything with Brian Hitch on it, I just get scared. Yeah. If I see a black character in anything that Brian Hitch is doing, I just get concerned. Because I've actually gone back and read some books that had his art in it and with black characters, and it seems to come up more often. That hairline be looking like Bobby Womack. Yeah, some of y'all youngins in here, y'all probably like, Bobby Womack? Who's that? Trust me, Bobby Womack is the reason a lot of us are here right now. But like y'all remember the Bobby Womack hairline? Y'all probably look. Let me show y'all something. I'm not trying to make fun of Bobby Womack. I loves me some Bobby Womack. But here, I want to show y'all something. Let me take y'all to Exhibit A. That's Bobby Womack. That's how he had. Oh,
don't do that. That hairline is immaculate compared to what they did to President Superman.
Well, I mean, it ain't far from. It ain't far from.
That Brian Hitch President Superman hairline, you have to treat it like seeing your friend's child, but the child don't look the best, so you got to go, oh, it's one of them hairlines. Oh,
no, here, because I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. Let's see, where is that? I know I got it somewhere. Yep, here it is, right here. I'm gonna show y'all here. Let me pull this up. I want to show y'all real quick. That's the hairline we talking about. Bruh, why? Why y'all do him like that? He the president. He the president. Dude, first of all, why is his hair coming in like that and then going back out and then coming back around?
Is he in a frat? Like, why is his hairline doing that, bro?
Right, dude, why is his hairline pledge a Q? This dude hairline stepping. Like, let me. I don't have any boots on, so you ain't gonna hear the stumble. Like, Look, I'm just. He got Stephen A. Smith hairline. Y'all ain't shit. Look, y'all ain't shit. Look, hey, 1 in 100. That's what the hairline's saying. If you think you lonely now, got that scar hairline.
No.
What?
That man said the president Superman hairline receded like the South seceded. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Look, we let's get back. let's get back on track. We got way to fuck off. Okay, so one thing I will say about the High Evolutionary that I was impressed that they kept is, you know how he does, one of the signatures of the High Evolutionary is his, like, he always creates these wild-ass, half-human, half-animal hybrids. And in this movie, which, you know, going back to, you know, the little girl we showed earlier, that we saw, but we see, like, apparently... Yeah, this is just a thing. They're making this thing. Like, do you remember, because Carter, I know you were recently reading this too, like, but during the Jerry Duggan run of X-Men so far.
Yeah.
How, you know, when the High Evolutionary showed, he had all those random and sundry, like, half-human, half-animal people, and then later on we saw Dr. Stasis had, like, the same thing. Like, this is very much in the same tone and vibe of that, which I just think it also, that little, Lord, that little girl, so ugly that it's cute, but at the same time, like, Batista just to bop the hell out of this poor little child. Look, why he bop her in the head with a ball like she was Randy Orton when Randy Orton got the thumbs down from Evolution. Oh Lord! Goodness. But no, it like I like what they're kind of setting up here. I don't think this has as much to do with some of the other stuff that's going on. Like we know Rocket Raccoon is going to be getting a lot of business in this one. A lot of people are actually convinced he about to catch it in this movie. A lot of people are convinced that he is not going to survive this movie because we're going into his backstory on Half-World. And I don't know if they're going to tie it to the High Evolutionary or anything like that, but they're clearly going to be digging in. I feel like it would be just only natural for them to do so, is to do that. But the thing I found interesting here is that not only are we going to be getting some Rocket Raccoon,
yep,
and some more backstory, insight into his early beginnings, where he came from. Actually, this shot, of course, is post genetic modification, but we even get to see what he used to look like. Dude, look at the eyes, the little trash panda.
I like how we are all so trained now. Oh, he getting backstory? Yeah, he ain't gonna make it to the end.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make it. Look, no. Not only is he getting backstory, they done brought his love interest into the movie. They done brought Lady Lila. Some of y'all may or may not know, Lady Lila is not the otter that he's hugging in this scene is not a random character. This is actually a character from the comics. Lady Lila is an otter who was on Half-World with Rocket when they were being experimented on. She is his soulmate in the comics. So yeah, when y'all saw that random ass otter show up with the mechanical arm, there you go.
They could very easily ride off into the sunset together like Jake and that unicorn off Adventure Time. Y'all just wishing death on this damn raccoon because he getting some character development.
Well, the reason why they do it because this scene, you see this shot right here where like Star-Lord's like, he doing the ugly cry.
with the slob coming out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, look, and Manta's like, she got the ugly cry. Like everybody we don't see Drax doing the ugly cry, so it could have been Drax too. We don't know, but honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if it was Drax because, bruh, there's a shot here. I don't know if you caught this. Did you catch this shot right here?
Yes, I did.
This brother got sent to the gulag. He got sent to the gulag. Look, he didn't get sent to Gulag. You know what happened? Somebody hit him with that sniper rifle in Fortnite. Took all his shield and all but, or no, he got hit with the sparks. He got hit with the sparks in Hunt. Took all but one dot of health. But no,
well, this is one thing I was going to ask you about, because now you can correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah,
Drax's whole point, until it's been changed several times, but his whole thing was, I'm getting Thanos. Period. I'm killing Thanos for what he did. You know, there have been several people that have come along and then retconned that to say, no, Thanos really didn't do that. There was somebody put it in his head. Then they said, no, Thanos really did do it. And then Thanos was his dad, the whole 9 yards. If Thanos is dead, which was his whole reason for living, if he caught it in this movie, he don't really have a reason to be here anymore. That was his whole existence.
He didn't even fight Thanos in game, I don't think. I don't think we even saw them look at each other.
He fought an NPC minion.
I think the only time he put hands on Thanos was in Infinity Ward. He got wrecked. Actually, did he even touch Thanos in Infinity War? I don't even think they. You know what? Okay, you know what? Drax in the MCU is one of the biggest missed opportunities. It reminds me of X-Men: The Last Stand, when Charles Xavier and Juggernaut are standing right across from one another, and they don't even so much as acknowledge that they're related. That's what it reminded me of.
Cause that wasn't Juggernaut. That was CG Vinnie Jones.
That was the Juggernaut, bitch. Anyway, let me also clear up some misconceptions too. I want to clear up some misconceptions. A lot of people thought that James Gunn was referencing Among Us for this scene. I did see that.
I saw that a lot.
Y'all telling on yourselves on how young y'all are. This is actually so this is 2001: A Space Odyssey. A movie that did not come out in 2001.
One fucking person said that.
No.
Not
actually,
one.
I'm going to tell you how I knew. Because I didn't think it was Among Us. I didn't even think about Among Us when this came up.
I didn't either.
But I was actually, because once again, the reason I said last week why I love the fact that James Gunn, I love him in the MCU, is because he's real quick to debunk shit. Like if someone's spreading rumors or telling lies or just making up stories about something that he's working on, he will literally go to Twitter and be like, and he will quote tweet or reply. Actually, he usually will quote tweet the person who said it and tell them that they're wrong. And depending on what he can and cannot say, he will tell them why. Kind of like when everyone was saying that Silver Surfer was in Guardians Volume 3 and he shut it down immediately. Because James Gunn understands the power of rumors on the internet. He understands that letting a rumor just go off into the wild of the internet is the worst thing humanly possible, because people will believe that rumor and get upset when the thing they were promised, quotey fingers promised, doesn't show up. But yeah, this isn't an Among Us reference. This is wholesale 2001: A Space Odyssey. A movie that, honestly, by my estimation, a lot of people call it one of the greatest movies of all time. I fell asleep on it.
And one thing I want to say real quick, because of everything you just previously said, so many people that don't know what the fuck 2001: A Space Odyssey is are going to ignore what you just said.
Oh yeah,
and because they think that it's Among Us, it's Among Us.
Yeah. Oh no. They're going to they're gonna believe what they want to believe. That just it's a fact. That's an undeniable fact. I'm actually here. Let me see.
Thank you, Carlos Johnson. That's the only time Drax laid hands on Thanos is when they were trying to remove the gauntlet. And I think what was he doing? Wasn't he holding his leg?
I think he was holding his leg or something. I don't have the greatest memory of that.
That's the only time he had hands on that.
Also, I want to bring up something real quick too here. Hold up. So, we were just talking about those spacesuits, and just because I want to set this to rest as well. Let me go back to the spacesuits. The reason why I said what I said is because of this. These are the spacesuits from 2001, A Space Odyssey. This is what all that was meant.
I think I even saw one person said it was I guess James Gunn been playing Deathloop recently.
Oh my god.
'Cause-
But no, if you look at the spacesuits, they're not that far off from, what you get here. Like it's pretty. It's not 1-to-1, but it's pretty close. It's actually pretty close.
It's nostalgia. It's a classic, which is what Star-Lord is all about, and encompasses is classic nostalgia.
Pretty much. I will say this. Going back to somebody potentially catching it. I don't think it's gonna be Rocket. I'd be surprised if it was, honestly. But I will say this ugly cry that is happening here. While yes, I think Rocket would elicit that level of emotion from Star-Lord, I feel like Drax could equally do the same. I feel like Drax could also elicit that same level of emotion or whatever from him. I also think, because we also can't forget, Gamora is back in this movie. Zoe Saldana's last hurrah in the MCU, and she has been very vocal about the fact that she's ready to be out. Granted, she's mostly said it tongue-in-cheekly. But we know that this is, in fact, the Gamora from Infinity War. And I know, or not Infinity War, but Endgame. From Endgame.
And I'm wondering how her and Peter Quill are going to interact, since he can't sow the oats anymore with this one.
No, she ain't having it. She's not having it, not even a little bit. But the thing I want to kind of stress here is that whatever's going on here, she seems to be very tied to what's going on with the High Evolutionary. I don't know how or what that's going to entail. It's probably, I mean, well, she already had one, so I mean, why not? My two stepdads. There you go. It's like, was it like, you remember on Family Guy? My black son, my black son.
I forgot about that.
He's making every day the best that he can. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that, though the wall I guess the emotional wall that she puts up against Star-Lord in Endgame, that may come down. We don't really know. We don't really see Gamora outside of like when she's by herself. I think one of the only other shots we see of her in the trailer is they're all shots where she is legitimately by herself. I think even in this group shot. Oh wait, no, she's there in the group shot. She's actually in the group shot. But she is very much behind everybody else. But the thing I was actually hoping for, and I know Zoe Saldana's she's tired of this, but I actually kind of wish that she would hang around, because then maybe I feel like this version of Gamora might be closer to the one that we have in the comics. Like that's kind of the thing that I always wanted, was that I wanted the more Space Conan version of Gamora, and we haven't really gotten that. Not really.
I think her character will be. Yeah, I think her character will be staying around. She might not be staying around, especially because of what you were talking about with Infinity War and Endgame. This is the Zoe Saldana that was not with Peter Quill. This is the Zoe Saldana that's waiting on Nick Cannon to finish the drumline set. I think Drax, because one thing that people tend to forget, just because of all this Marvel and DC drama and all the HBO Max and Warner Brothers Discovery and stuff, Batista had been saying for a while that this third one was it for him.
Yeah. He said actually, he said this was contractually his last movie, and he kind of implied that he was happy about it. So
yeah. When they tried to do James Gunn dirty, with the joke and cancel culture and all that, he was one of the main ones that was standing with him, and he wasn't gonna come back for this one if James Gunn was not involved, and a lot of people tend to forget that. Plus, I mean, that man got the Knives Out sequel. He's trying to be Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War now. He
ain't studying no Guardians of the Galaxy no more. He's
I think now, especially now that James Gunn is back and he's finished the film, and now he's gonna be going over to HBO. with the DC
DC and all
stuff.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Batista's get done with this. So yeah, I can see Peter Quill doing
Yeah.
the slog cry for old Drax. It'll be sad to see. He'll probably make some goofy ass joke, and that'll probably be when I finally sit down and play Guardians of the Galaxy's game and finish it, and then cry every time Drax says something because Drax is fucking hilarious in that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, but I want to put an addendum to what you just said.
Okay.
He's hilarious in that game, but not for the reasons that he is in the movies. Like, in the movies, Batista's laughing at his own jokes a lot of the times. Like, a lot of the and sometimes he isn't, but like, you know, in the game, but Drax is funny because he's saying something or doing something that makes no sense whatsoever. And he's not laughing about it. Or he says something that's like, he'll say some like high-key racist, or in his case, specious shit, and you'll just be like, dude, you can't. It's Drax, though, man. It's Drax. But it's funny because you know he's wrong. But yeah, it's a very that's kind of part of the reason why I liked the game so much more than the movies. But it is what it is. Let's talk about the real GOAT.
Okay.
The real GOAT in this is Will Poulter. Will Poulter as Adam Warlock in his comics, mostly comics accurate fit. He's even got the little animal skull on the costume like he normally does.
But that was Superman 1,000,000.
You ain't shit. I can tell you who thought it was Superman 1,000,000 is Nebula, because look that face he about to make. There's a shot. I don't have the shot of Nebula, but she about to catch it. The person he's about to swing on is Nebula, and she is about to get deleted. But but going back to it, I do really like the look that they did. I mean, obviously we knew that the look was going to be somewhat decent, because basically he's the same as the I forget the name of the species, but Aisha from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Like he's a part of that species, created by that species. Whether or not they're gonna return in this is a whole other story altogether. I don't know if they're gonna wrap that up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Tie up that loose end or whatever. But yeah, I like it. I dig it. I don't think that's an Infinity Stone on his forehead, but that might be. I mean, I don't know. That looks like Zale's top of the line right there. But I don't think that's an Infinity Stone he's got on his forehead. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I thought the trailer was great. It implies a lot of serious shit. Like, I think we see a shot here. I don't think we even talked about this shot, but there's a scene here where we see Nebula carrying what kind of looks like is very likely Star-Lord. But yeah, I don't think this is a serious shot, because you can kind of see Rocket right here don't seem to give no fucks about anything that's going on.
When I saw that scene, so.
Yeah, he's just like, pull my hair back.
Yeah, the boy probably getting hammered because Gamora don't want him like that no more.
Man, look, I'm just saying. Meanwhile, Nebula like, yay, my sister's back. Get fucked. But no, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a great. I think it's gonna be good fun for everyone. And once again, this is James Gunn's last hurrah in the MCU. So, he's co-head of DC Studios now. So this is a wrap. For him, this is it. It's done. This is one and done, son. Or in this case, three and done. Or maybe 3 1/4 if you count the holiday special. But no, what I do want to do real quick is I do want to go back, because I know we got a couple of super chats that I want to address.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, this is definitely from earlier. Dominic calls it screaming out, had me like Big Worm out here messing with my emotions, Smokey. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Pip. We appreciate you. Yeah, no, that was me. I actually went to there. I have a. So yeah, let me pull the curtain back a little bit, and y'all can see a little bit of how the production works back here. I an add-on that allows me to pull up the chat, as you can see as we're doing right now. So I can highlight chat. I can highlight anybody's chat message, technically. But I forgot to set, because I was dealing with all the other crap with the show and not be able to get everything running, I forgotten to set it up again. And so when I went to go click on something, I was like, oh shit, it's not showing Jonathan Moda's super chat here on the screen. So I went to go fix it. I thought I had clicked studio mode so that the show would just carry on as normal and I could do what I had to do in the background. And then I realized the screen went black and I was like, well, I'm already here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I apologize, y'all. Didn't mean to freak y'all out. Let's get to our next one. I want Ed Boy in the Cup with the $2 super chat says odds of Moondragon showing up. Think it's possible? I don't know, because originally there was an actress who got attached to this, and I just drew the easy assumption that she was gonna be playing Moondragon, and that is Maria Bakalova. When she was attached to the movie, a lot of people, I myself included, just kind of assumed that she was going to be playing Moondragon, and James Gunn, in true James Gunn fashion, shut that shit down and broke a lot of folks' hearts. He was like, no, she is not. I think he said she is playing Cosmo. So the voice you hear of Cosmo when Cosmo's using their telepathy in the holiday special, and as you will hear in this movie, is not that actress is not playing Moondragon. They are playing the dog.
I thought you meant she was going to play one of Fairly Odd Parents for a second. But here you said you need to stop the cap. You was just playing Midnight Suns, weren't you? That's why the screen went black.
Oh, I mean, maybe. Maybe.
So
I've been enjoying myself.
Okay. I was going to ask.
I've been enjoying myself.
There was somebody that was asking me about the game earlier, and I'm like, man, that is all blurred out here. That is not me.
You know what? I thought about talking about it today on the show. I may talk about it next week because I'm not that far.
Get more time in on it.
Yeah, I want to get. I'm not that far. I'm still pretty early on in the game. I think Sabretooth just showed up in the game. Was the last, which is once again that's very early on. I will say this while we're here.
Okay.
One thing I will say about the game that surprised me, and I tweeted about this yesterday, I didn't realize that Lyrica Okana, who played Nico on The Runaways, I did not realize that was her playing Nico in the game.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but Michael Jai White, the guy everybody wants to play Blade, guess who he's playing in the game? He's playing Blade.
Oh.
He's playing Blade. Also, the characters in the game that they do have, like, the characters you see on the cover and all the promo stuff, those aren't the only characters in the game. I don't want to... Well, it's not really a spoiler. Agatha Harkness is in the game, which I thought was cool because she's not advertised as being in the game. And then, of course, I know a lot of people think that the caretaker, the woman that you see in the game, who's like kind of the regular looking woman amongst all the heroes, a lot of people think that the caretaker was made up for the game. She is not. She is actually from the comics. As a matter of fact, Carter, you remember that Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage, the first one?
Of course, it was fantastic, Ernie. Fantastic.
You lying. Anyway, you remember the guy that Sam Elliott played?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the caretaker. But in the comics, the caretaker has a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that granddaughter is the woman you see in the game.
Oh, that's what's up.
Only in the comics, I think she's a bit younger in the comics. At least last I saw her. Also, Ghost Rider. Not just Robbie Reyes, but the Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider is in the game as well. Not playable, but he does appear in the game, just in a story capacity. Oddly enough, looking like Sam Elliott did in the movie. He's got he's got grayer hair. He's like you could tell he's been Ghost Rider for a long time. He even got the Hulk Hogan stash. I was like, bruh, okay, Johnny, you out here. But no, I like it. I like it a lot. I can't wait to see how they implement the DLC characters, because Storm, Morbius, Venom, and Deadpool are going to be DLC characters. There are nods and mentions to characters like Moon Knight, though, in the game. That's one thing I will also say about it early on. There are a lot of, I get why some people don't like the dialogue in the game, because if you're not familiar with the comics as I am, there's almost a reference every other second. Somebody mentions something that you'll be, did you ever read the Ms. Marvel? The early Ms. Marvel, where, or no, I don't think this was Ms. Marvel. I think this might have been the Champions. Where it was what was it, the home redevelopment something. It was a Hydra acronym, but it was a company that was posing as a real estate development business, but it was all an acronym for Hydra. They make a reference to that in the game. They make a reference to that organization. That's such a deep cut. They make, obviously because of Ilyana being in the game, they make references to New Mutants, stuff that's happened with the Runaways, characters like Gert are mentioned, Alex Chase mentioned, they bring up Old Lace and Molly, stuff like that. Blade talks about, if you get Blade to warm up to you, he talks about his past and stuff like that. Just if you're a fan of the comics, there's a lot of stuff you're gonna be like, dude, I can't believe they went there. But the truth is, the lead dev on the game, that's the reason why they're doing the game, is because they're such a huge fan of Marvel, Midnight Suns specifically. But whenever you watch the dev streams, dude goes off on tangents a lot of the time. Don't even be talking about the game sometimes, just be talking about stuff from the comics that he loves. That's why I know that they're genuine. What they're doing is coming from a place of genuine, kind of like what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, the game. I feel like Firaxis had the same energy that, who was it that made that game? Was it EA? Was it EA?
What game?
Was it EA, Guardians, EA Montreal? Or
no,
was it Crystal
EA.
Dynamics?
Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, Crystal. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Which was crazy because they did such a far better job with that game than they did with Avengers.
But you're still getting DLC. I could not believe that.
Yeah, they're getting Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier coming. Winter Soldier is coming, y'all. But yeah. But to get back to brass tacks here. I do think Moondragon is possible, but I'm not holding my breath for it. I feel like it would almost be too much to add, and considering how James Gunn has removed characters from his movies before because he felt that they took up too much space and he wouldn't be able to do them justice, and it's his final film, I don't think he's going to be adding too many new characters. Just not outside of ones that are, essential to the plot. But let's, while we're talking about James Gunn, Carter, do you think James Gunn is teasing Kingdom Come?
I don't know why people would think that was something.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why. So not that long ago, about on the 30th, James Gunn put out a tweet, and the tweet lit Twitter on fire. Mostly because of how DC Comics responded to it. So here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. It's, here it is right here. He put out a tweet that said, making plans, and for those who don't know, this shot right here is from Kingdom Come. And you see right here, first reply, DC Comics, with the Batman scratching his chin, gif, and you see some of the other people like Mitch Gerard's, people like that, coming in and replying to it. Now, I want to bring it back down to earth now. Is James Gunn, is he really teasing what we think he's teasing?
I think if he is, y'all ain't getting that as soon as y'all think y'all getting it.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Okay.
Get that shit out your mind. Oh, we finna get that in the next psych.
Y'all ain't getting shit. Y'all shut the fuck up. Sit y'all little ugly asses down down. Y'all ain't getting no.
Ooh, y'all ain't getting this as quick as y'all think y'all can.
Okay, so Carter, are you familiar with Kingdom Come? Have you ever read? Okay, so I'm gonna break it down in the most simplistic of terms, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've read Kingdom Come, but the long and short of it is, this is an Elseworlds title, and it's a world where the superheroes of the DC Comics universe, a lot of them stop superheroing, more specifically Superman, and it's all because of, there's a new superhero who hits the scene named Magog, which I always get confused with this character because there's a character in Marvel. Yeah, because you have Marvel, you have the Mangog, and in DC you got Magog. It's like, y'all, come on, y'all stop making this so difficult. But the Magog shows up, and he's working as a superhero, but he's the hardcore, extreme superhero. Like, he's willing to kill, unlike Superman, and that kind of leads, and people are gravitating to the superhero. But long story short, it ultimately leads to a schism in the superhero community, and it's kind of like, I don't want to set up the wrong expectation if you've never read Kingdom Come, but like, if you could imagine what Civil War, like Marvel's Civil War, would be like in the DC universe, but between Batman and Superman, it's kind of along those lines, though not on the same level. It's not like the same level, but just know, like, superheroes versus superheroes, and people disagreeing with how superheroes should be done. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor's acting a whole monkey off on the side, and nobody notices, except for Batman, maybe. But that is basically that's like the elevator pitch, more or less. But here's what I'm gonna say, Carter. Ask early if you think he's teasing Kingdom Come, and I'm of two minds about this.
Okay,
is he just using a cheeky picture to get nerds talking? Or was it just a picture meant to represent all the heads at DC right now coming together at DC Studios to make something great and nothing more than that? And honestly, I think it's the latter. I think it just was an appropriate picture to show that, because it's a cool picture. You got Kingdom Come Superman, which is honestly probably one of the only one of the only versions of Superman I actually like. You see this guy sitting at head of the table, and everybody just coming together trying to make something great, especially with all the comments that he's made recently about how under the new DC Studios banner, everything is going to be connected, the TV shows, the movies, even the video games, cartoons, everything is going to be connected from now on. So I feel like, that means there's going to be a lot of, I don't want to say cooks in the kitchen, because that kind of is a negative connotation, but just there's going to be a lot of heads coming together to make a cohesive universe. Now, is it to say he's not going to do something Kingdom Come related? He probably will. But I don't think he's going to lead with that. Like Carter said earlier, I think you ain't going to see that till like 2030, 2032. Like, honestly, I don't even know if I'll still be doing YouTube by the time that he does it. I don't know. Hell, I might not even be here. Who knows? But I don't know, Carter. What do you think on this?
So looking at that and knowing James Gunn, I think, and something that I've said before is that DC should really stop trying to follow Marvel when it comes to their cinematic universe, or however the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
I've always said that DC has a lot of great stories, and there are a lot of great film directors and producers and people that you could very easily take a story and run with it. not everything has to be connected. Look at the Joker. Joker's not connected to fucking anything, and the movie got an Oscar, and it's getting a sequel, and this, that, and the third, and it's its own, you could call Elseworld story. The Batman is not connected to anything now. No. It is its own. It's basically an Elseworld story.
It should be, but it is not.
So seeing that picture and seeing that James Gunn is the head of things, in a perfect world for me, it signifies that maybe he's gonna go the route of let's not try to do what they did. We have a lot of fantastic stories that we could just drop.
Yeah.
In a sense. Just get an amazing cast together and just do a Kingdom Come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, if they were going to do it, that's how I would do it, personally.
Yeah.
Like, and I've said this for a long time. If you want to make a Flashpoint movie, you ain't got to set shit up. Just make fucking Flashpoint. Just make it. I mean, technically they are doing it, but they're doing it under the framing of it being just a Flash movie and not of the same scope and scale as Flashpoint. But like, remember, like, kind of like how they do the DC animated movies for a long time. How they just come out with, oh no, we're going to do Justice League War. We're going to do Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. We're going to do, the Teen Titans Judas Contract. You don't even have to have seen anything prior. The movie just comes out and you either go with it or you don't.
And that's what's made a lot of those animated movies successful.
Yes. 100%.
You could very easily follow a comic book storyline that everyone does, and then every so often you drop something that's not really attached to anything. For every the Batman and Black Adam and Shazam family, you can do a Joker. For every Judas Contract and Justice League War, you had Justice League Gods and Monsters, which had fuck all to do with anything.
It didn't have anything to do with nothing. It was just what was it? Gotham by Gaslight. Thing. Gotham by Gaslight. It was complete. I mean, granted, it's Elseworlds anyway.
I thought it was. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Gotham by Gaslight was straight up its own thing.
I get it confused with Gates of Gotham sometimes.
Okay, yeah. No. This was like the whole the steampunk Batman and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hell, even Batman Ninja, which oh my god, I don't even get me started on Batman Ninja.
That's in a perfect world. That's what James Gunn could possibly be doing here. I mean, you have so many fantastic stories at DC that you don't have to try to connect everything with everything. No. You have a great story. Just put that great story on screen for people to absorb, man. Just like, you know what, and this is what I was thinking about in my head, and then I kind of lost my train of thought when you started talking. How Marvel did comics, in the sense of Netflix was, in my opinion, Marvel Knights, and the films were Marvel proper. You could do that with DC stuff, because Joker is Black Label. You could say the Joaquin Phoenix movie was a Black Label story.
Yeah,
you could do something with Constantine where it was a but you don't have to do what they did with comics. You can do it with comics as well. That's the point I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
You don't have to follow the route that they took when they try to do comics to screen, but you can still use comic logic in these films without following somebody's ass.
Yeah, no, I 1000% agree with you. I feel like, and I want to piggyback something because I saw Tubes of One, which, by the way, matter of fact, before I even highlight that, I actually want to highlight the 15 months. Tubes of One dropped.
Somebody had 35 when you were fixing shit. I think it was. It might have been
Jamal Sim. Yeah, I think it was Jamal Sim. Yeah, Jamal. Yeah,
okay.
that. There you go. See, look, same page. But no, Kingdom Come, aka DC becomes the Marvel Universe. Basically, I mean, more or less. But no, but to piggyback more what they said, so I still say the DCEU would have worked better if they just started with the Justice League, which that's kind of what I had always, like, I remember saying this when the Justice League movie came out, where they were talking about, like, oh man, we got to do Batman v Superman. We got to do Wonder Woman. We got to make sure we got Man of Steel out first. This is what you should have done. I'm going to point you to a little movie called Justice League War. It's an animated film. And while I know some people's opinion of that movie varies, but for me, I love it. I think it's a great adaptation of the first volume of Jeff Johns' Justice League. But the thing is, you know why that movie worked? It's because they just went into it. They didn't do any setup. They just adapted what was already there, because that comic, that was the first volume, so it was the beginning of something. It was, and literally the beginning of something. That was New 52, where everything had started over. So yeah, that's what you should have done. You just should have done that. It would have been perfect. I think people would have ate it the fuck up if they would have done that. But, once again, they didn't do that. And then here we got one from, this was off topic, but this is Dominic Coles with $10 Super Chat says, have y'all heard that Yam song on TikTok? Can y'all play that from now on? We speak about blessed women from now on. I don't know. It depends on, I can only play a piece of it because, man, YouTube is aggro as hell. Even the little sound drops I do, they normally don't catch them, but if they're just the wrong length, they're more than like just a few seconds, boom, they come after you. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll test it. But let's go here. Because I feel like that's enough. I don't feel like, because we're on the same page here on this. We're on the same page on this. We both know this is much ado about nothing. But you want to talk about, and while some may say, well, you're gonna much ado about nothing now, but your next topic is much ado about nothing because it never happened. And you're correct, but I find it interesting nonetheless. The Vulture's Spider-Man 4 look got dropped on us this week. Those probably sitting there wondering, like, what are you talking about, Spider-Man 4? What do you mean, Spider-Man 4? See, y'all might think, well, wait a minute, we had No Way Home, and I know they're making another Spider-Man movie, but
I was gonna say, you either talking about Raimi's stuff or you're talking about the new stuff.
I'm talking about Raimi's.
Okay.
So for those that don't know, Spider-Man 4 was a movie that never happened. It was actually supposed to come out in 2011. Never occurred, obviously. And back then, John Malkovich was attached. John Malkovich was attached to play the Vulture. Which I think actually would have been good casting, considering that, for those that don't know, I know a lot of people are more familiar with the MCU version now, the Michael Keaton version of the Vulture. So a lot of people probably, you're probably not even thinking about the original comics version of Adrian Toomes. I think about Adrian Toomes all the time, though, because I use him quite regularly in Marvel Snap.
When I think of Adrian Toomes, I think of two things. I think of Michael Keaton, and I think of Superior Spider-Man when he had midgets as henchmen.
Yeah, that's not the preferred nomenclature for little people.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that was the thing. But
it is not the preferred nomenclature for little people.
But those are the only two reasons I remember it, because Doc Ock thought they were kids and realized they weren't.
They were not
kids. And then beat the absolute brakes off of Adrian Toomes.
Oh, no, I remember that. For those who remember, though, Adrian, this is what Vulture normally looks like in the comics. And you think like John Malkovich, but when you think about it, there's John Malkovich. He's actually pretty on brand for the Vulture, especially if you think about 2011 John Malkovich. Obviously he's much older now. And honestly, he could still play the character. If we're being brutally honest.
Still doing Red sequels. That man could be Vulture. Leave that man.
He can do what he wants. So for those that don't know, he was originally attached to that movie, but obviously it got canceled Because and this was while it was in pre-production, though a lot of people didn't realize how far into production they were for the movie. But yeah, it got shut down, and basically what happened was Sony decided to do the reboot of Spider-Man with Amazing Spider-Man 1 that came out not long after. I think it came out like 2012 or 2013, something like that. But though that said, they did technically try to set up the Vulture for future Spider-Man films because they were trying to do Sinister Six. But yeah, John Malkovich was attached, and you know what we got to see? We got to see some pictures where let's see if I can find this gentleman's name. Let's see. Yes, the storyboard artist, Jay Henderson, who worked on Spider-Man 4. He actually revealed some pictures that showed off what could have been. So these aren't the actual like these are molds. These are molds that were made for the character. So here's one where he's got his hands kind of pulled together, got the wings pulled in. And you see he's got like kind of like the little feathery collar, which is like straight out of the comics. Looks awesome. And then we also got another shot, wider shot, where we can actually see him like fully in the suit with the wings kind of like almost fully spread out, which looks really awesome. I think it looks great. Also, we got to see they actually made the wings. They did actually create the wings. We actually got some shots here of the visual effects team, like one of them holding the wings up. So yeah, that's what they ultimately would have looked like had the movie had actually come out. But that's not the only thing that we got to learn about this, Carter. We got to learn. Well, I think you knew this too, probably most likely, you being a Bruce Campbell fan. Bruce Campbell would have been back for that movie, and he would have taken on the role of Mysterio. And it was also revealed that Anne Hathaway would have played Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat.
Fire.
Now we don't know.
No, you can't skip over that. Get Kirsten Dunst's big-headed ass out of here. Anne Hathaway.
Well, I mean, I'm not. Look, hey, I'm here for it. But what I was gonna say is what I find funny about that casting is that Anne Hathaway went on to play Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, so she got to play a cat somebody. But no, this movie, would have starred Bruce Campbell, who would finally be revealed as Mysterio. We would have gotten Anne Hathaway's Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat. We don't really know, like, what the version of the Vulture that Raimi was putting together ultimately would have been like.
It's gonna be ridiculous because it's Raimi.
No. Okay, so here's the thing: we don't know like the full story behind it, but what Jay Henderson revealed was that the thing we kept coming back to was that as a character, everyone was going to dismiss the Vulture as just an old guy in a silly green suit, and said that we wanted to portray him as a guy who did a lot of ugly stuff for the government, did a lot of ugly stuff as a private contractor, and I thought a clever thing to do would be to say that part of the reason they called him the Vulture was because when he was done, he didn't leave anything but bones behind. And they said that he even went on to describe the final fight scene that they had put together between Spider-Man and Vulture, where it was going to be a big brawl for it all, where Vulture almost kills Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man at the last minute, he's really wounded, he's bleeding really badly, he's in real trouble. Peter finally, almost as a reaction, forces the Vulture off, and when he does, it snaps some of the stuff from the wings, so he ends up just tumbling into the ether, dying like off of like a cliff, like off of like off the top of a building. And that's what pretty much, because that was the thing, they always ended up killing off the villains for the most part, or they would do something that basically made it where you're not gonna see them again. But that's what they were going to do. Now, we'll never see this come to fruition because, well, for one, Michael Keaton is playing the Vulture right now. He's a very different version of Adrian Toomes in the in the MCU. He ain't your daddy's Vulture. Yeah, he's very different. He's a very different character than what I think a lot of people would probably be more accustomed to seeing. However,
Mm-hmm.
The other reason, too, is that Sam Raimi has also expressed that he has no plans on coming back to direct any Spider-Man movies. So yeah, we'll never get this, but I just thought it was something cool to muse about. I don't know. What you think? What do you think about? What do you think about John Malkovich? A John Malkovich Vulture. What would you have thought about that?
Okay, so question.
Yeah, quick. Go ahead.
What are we talking about after this story?
I don't know. Depends. What you got? What you got?
Let me. No. Only reason I ask is because are we gonna go to recommended right after this?
No. Why? What's up?
Okay. Because you brought up the fact that this was much ado about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting here and we're talking about an actor playing a role in a film that we will never see, that is never coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought that was a better subject to talk about other than the whole ass Transformers Beast Wars movie coming out, which makes me laugh because that just shows, damn, Ernie hate them Transformers.
Correction. I didn't bring it up because I just didn't have anything to say. Okay, so here's the thing. I love Transformers. Don't get me wrong. I love Transformers. I don't really care about the beast machines. Like, I don't. Like, and I actually, me and the Shafani boys at Nerd 901, we were talking about this.
Wait, you mean the show Beast Machines? Because I'm not mad at you because that show was some ass. So you talking about Beast Wars? I'm talking
about the whole thing. I don't give a shit. Okay, so let me explain something. So when Beast Wars and Beast Machines, all that stuff, when all that stuff was coming out, I wasn't really watching cartoons and stuff like that anymore. Like, I kind of had, I mean, I don't want to say aged out. I've actually talked about this before when we've talked about Batman Beyond. Like, yeah, there's a certain group, a certain sector of fandom that they have this huge nostalgia for Batman Beyond. I don't have it because, for the same reason as with Beast Wars and Beast Machines, I wasn't watching that shit anymore when that stuff came out. Like, I don't have the same, like, oh my god, this is my childhood. No, I was watching anime by that. Like by the time Batman Beyond, Beast Wars, all this stuff came out, I had already been watching Akira, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, Wicked City, various and sundry other anime that is not Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon. I was deep off in the anime fields before, like, anime was really, like, a popular thing to talk about.
You said anime.
So yeah, I mean, but it's true. It's not even, and before anyone tries to say, oh, Blerd's being an elitist. No, not being an elitist. It's true. When I was, okay, let me pull some up. When did Beast Wars come out? Here, let's see here.
Oh man.
When did Beast Wars originally come out? 1996. Okay. Yes. So yeah. So by the time, god damn. So let's see.
Exactly.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So okay, I was like 14, give or take, around the time Beast Wars came out. And let me see. I'm gonna look up Batman Beyond as well. I'm gonna see when Batman Beyond first came out. 99. That was that was 99. So even more so. I was in high school. So by that point, yeah, and I'm just being honest here. Between 96 up to like maybe like 2005, I didn't really watch cartoons that were American.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was technically a weeb before weebs were ever a thing. Like, this was what it was. Yeah. So.
Okay, since you said that, this is for everybody that's watching. I took everyone's advice. Anime update.
Okay.
I continued I continued watching Chainsaw Man, right?
Okay.
And you and I both are on the same page. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. So he's just trying to grab a handful. That's the whole reason for his big. Okay. He has now grabbed himself Tiggos, not the girl he wanted though. So that has moved past. We are at that. Okay, we're getting introduced to new characters, better characters than the main character. I don't like Benji at all. but now he has a new goal. He's not trying to grab a handful anymore. Now his goal is to smash.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm sorry, that's just so juvenile. That's just so, like, okay, I know some people like to make fun of me because I always bring up shit like Wicked City, but at least Wicked City is open about what it is. Like, I'm sorry, like, at least, you know, the assignment was understood from the jump. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Like, you remember, like, okay, I'll use a better example. City Hunter. Some of y'all may or may not remember City Hunter. Some of you who do know what City Hunter is may remember that ugly-ass Jackie Chan movie. That he did that was supposed to be City Hunter, in which it was City Hunter in name only. City Hunter in name and name only. But no, here's my thing. I don't like pervy characters. I don't like characters whose whole purpose in life is to perv on... And I don't know. Maybe I'm in a different place in my life because I have a child, I have a daughter, and that stuff is a real problem. But yeah, just the idea of a guy whose like whole purpose in life is to like perv on women. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me.
Let me say this. So I can get some clarification so weebs aren't in the fucking comments.
Mm-hmm.
He never thought him being with anybody was ever a thing that was going to happen, because since he was a child and his father died, because his father owed a debt to like bookies or whatever the fuck. Ever since he has been a kid and his parent died, he has been having to do odd jobs and shit around town, because even though he was a child, he recouped that debt.
Yeah, I know. So that part, I know what you're talking about. That's not lost on me.
Yeah, so he never thought that was something. Again, I don't like that character. There are other characters on the show with other motives and shit like that. Even the episode I'm on right now with this one girl who didn't even want the job to kill demons. She was forced into it because her parents love another child more. This sister's losing her fucking marbles because she's seeing demons everywhere. But I just wanted to get that little bit of clarification, just so you could understand. But yeah, now he has learned that just because he grabbed someone's chest and grabbed their breasts, it doesn't mean anything if it's not someone you care about. So he would rather grab the chest and smash the woman that he is infatuated with. Even though in this episode, if he kills the demon that's trying to kill him, he's going to get a kiss from the girl who's not even really going to kiss him. She's just doing it because she likes fucking with people.
Oh, okay. Honestly, there's really nothing anyone's going to be able to do to make me interested in the show. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. But yeah, it just...
That was my whole thing about this, Ernie. Well, number one, I did it because I knew you was gonna be like, no, and it was gonna make me laugh. But
Jose used to talk to me, like our mutual friend Jose. He used to talk to me about this back when it was still just a manga. Okay. And every time he talked about it, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Have you seen One Punch Man? Because
I've seen One Punch Man.
That's the one to beat for me, because that's the most recent one I have seen. The most recent. I haven't caught up with the My Hero X Hunter, the Attack on JoJo's, and all that shit. I haven't seen any of those. But this one I wanted to give a chance because everybody said it, but I'm just sitting there just like
I'm good. I mean, here's the thing. Anime for me is very personal because I feel like I require a certain level of anime. Like, and I don't like shonen anime. I don't like shonen anime anymore. It's just not a thing for me. I just don't care for it anymore. Just like, I don't know. It's difficult for me to get into. I like more seinen style anime, which technically Chainsaw Man is a seinen anime, but not that kind. That's where like whenever I say, oh, I like seinen anime, well, try out Chainsaw Man. We don't do that here. I guess you know what? Let's go ahead and move on to our yeah, because I don't even want to talk about this other thing. We can do that. It was let's go back to. Oh, we didn't skip here. We'll just do this. Yep, there you go. Recommendations. There you go. We could talk about the Becky Lynch thing if there ever anything more comes of it.
Recommendations for me is going to be a little bit on the sad side, but I'm going to find a way to spin it. And it's all thanks to the Blerd Without Fear, because he is a cruel, petty individual. But because of last week, and we were talking about Jason David Frank, and
gotcha.
Being at home and being at work, all that's constantly recommended to me on YouTube out of fucking nowhere is all this old Power Ranger stuff. So I'm just recommending you all go and read the Boom Studios Lord Draken stuff with Power Rangers. Matter of fact, just start up the new Power Ranger stuff from Boom Studios because it's really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
And I've been watching certain clips of the old TV shows that I didn't even know happened. I didn't know Tommy popped up nearly as fucking much as he did.
Oh yeah,
in
he was in
these things. But let's bring it back to the Blerd Without Fear one time, because what tends to happen is when we're talking about stuff, going over stuff for the show, for the week and things like that, we'll be in the wee hours of the night playing some game, whether it be GTFO, Hunt Showdown, this, that, and third. And sometimes we end up in the abyss of YouTube seeing some shit we just ain't thought about. But in this instance, this is the Power Rangers edition. I'm going to put a video in the chat, and of course you all that are listening to this on podcasts or anything like that, I want you all to YouTube Power Rangers Turbo, Rocky hurt the back.
Oh! Yeah.
I'm going to put this video in the chat for you all, but everyone who's listening, you all just YouTube that, okay? Anyone who remembers there was a Power Rangers Turbo movie, I was thinking about all the movies that Tommy was in. And this retrospective video I was watching on YouTube, it was one point they clowned Rocky because Rocky was a trash ranger.
Yes, he was.
And it reminded me of the Power Rangers Turbo movie, because if you all remember Power Rangers Turbo, that's when they had a little kid become a ranger, and he was awful. His name was Justin. But Rocky
I forgot that
was
kid's name.
Rocky was the Blue Ranger in that movie, and the reason that the child took over for Rocky is because Rocky hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, play that clip. Everyone who's listening, everyone who saw me put in chat, watch how he hurt himself. This would hit so much better if you were having PC issues, or I wish I could play it. That's some shit we're going to talk about after the show. But I want you to watch how Rocky hurt himself. And then I want you to have a motherfucker like Blerd Without Fear in your ear telling you how trash Rocky is. That Rocky broke his back doing what, Ernie?
Something he does every Saturday. This dude, for those that understand where I'm going with it, Rocky literally every Saturday, your ass is out here fighting, shooting a fair one with putties and all sorts of shit. You broke your back doing a jump spin kick. You literally do at least 2 or 3 times a week. 2 or 3 times a week. I done killed him.
It's like 2 in.the morning, bro. I have not laughed that hard. Because when you watch the clip, even at a young age, when I watched that movie, even I knew physics don't work the way they worked when the angle he did that kick. And the angle
and the way he fell out,
flew out the ring, don't make no logical sense.
I still remember that. I'm still
so
baffled.
Just to get the message from this motherfucker, man, Rocky was so fucking trash. This nigga broke his back doing a move he do on every Saturday, Carter.
I said what I said. I stand by it. I guess, you know what? I'll go ahead and do mine. So in light of, and I think this is already out by now. I'm gonna double check myself. I think it's, has this been?
Whew.
Yeah. It's come out by now. Excuse me.
Whew.
So for some of you who are as old as I am, some of you may remember the Wildcats. And yes, they did have a cartoon. It was a thing. It happened. A cartoon you could actually still catch. I think it's on Tubi TV. They just recently had a new issue come out.
Yes,
that.
they did.
I'm not talking about this though. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this.
Okay.
This isn't what I'm recommending. Not because it's bad. I would recommend it. Go read it if you want. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But what it did was it made me go back. And where did I put it? Do I have it somewhere handy dandy? Yep, I sure fuck do. Bam! Right here. It made me go back and read this. Those are what I'm talking about. This is the original Wildcats trade right here. Basically, it's issues. I think this is actually 1 through 6. Let's see here. Or actually, no, it's not 1 through 6. It's 1 through 4. Wildcats number 1 through 4. But I forgot how much I liked the Wildcat series because it was Jim Lee. It was Jim Lee, and what was so awesome about it was it was basically around the same time that he was still doing X-Men, and and it was basically X-Men. It was basically X-Men. Only instead of mutants, you had cherubim.
Okay.
And what was even more funny about that, though, Carter, is that the other day I was messing around. Me and Robo got to talking about some stuff. We got on the subject of comics, and as we normally do. But there was an issue.
Okay.
That came up. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, right here. There was an issue where two of the characters, Voodoo and Spartan, who Spartan was kind of like the Cyclops of the group, Voodoo was kind of like the Jean Grey. Technically, Void was the Jean Grey, but like Voodoo, I guess, may have been more like, she was like a mix of Jean Grey and Psylocke, if that makes any sense. But what ends up happening is, let me see if I can I zoom this in? Can I? Why is this not zooming in? Should zoom in. Anyway, it's not important. Point of the matter is, there was an issue where Cyclops and Jean Grey show up in Wildcats for no reason.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually, this is it right here. This is the shot. Right down here at the bottom, that is Cyclops and Jean Grey. It was right around the time because they were on their honeymoon. And Cyclops is like, did you see that man over there? You don't suppose he's a mute? And Jean cut him off. She says, stop that right now, you hear me? She said, we're finally on our honeymoon. Let's just try and enjoy ourselves while we can. And he's like, oh, of course, you're absolutely right. It's just that I thought, well, never mind. And it was because Voodoo threw a drink in Spartan's face, and he started like short-circuiting, only he was pretending to short-circuit, but he was using his powers, even though technically Spartan is he's an android, so it was supposed to be the whole funny behind him shorting out. But yeah, the whole point of that though was just that getting back to it, I loved the Wildcats back when it came out. And I forgot I actually forgot how many Wildcat series they had even after the initial Image Comics run. But they've Wildcats, like, 'cause I kept thinking, oh man, they don't even make they stopped making Wildcats comics like 5 ever ago. It's like, no, they were still making Wildcats comics up to like 2011, I think.
Oh wow.
They would just relaunch ever so often. They had relaunches like 4 or 5 times, different spin-off series. They even did have a Wildcats X-Men crossover that I think was like 5, or no, I think it was like maybe it was just like 1 or 2 issues, maybe. But yeah, they actually had. Actually, no, they actually had multiple ones, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, no, they actually had several. So, yeah, it was just something I thought was really cool. And, like, yeah, they had characters that were kind of vaguely similar to characters like you would probably expect to see. Or at least in look, not so much in personality.
Right.
Like, when you think of Grifter, a lot of people say, oh, that's got to be the Gambit stand-in, even though he doesn't really act like Gambit. Spartan, he's the leader. He kind of looks like the Cyclops of the group, even though he's not really like Cyclops. Warblade was basically like your Wolverine, even though he doesn't act like Wolverine. And Zealot, I think you can probably figure out who Zealot was supposed to be. Zealot was supposed to be your Psylocke, your full-on Psylocke. But even though she didn't act anything really like Psylocke. So yeah, you get the idea I'm going with. But yeah, it was such a cool thing. And like, yeah, the whole Wildcats, code action teams. I thought it was such a cool thing that never caught on the way that I wish it would have. But it was like the closest thing you'd get to X-Men in Image Comics back in the 90s. And it's back now, and actually not bad. Like, it's actually really good. It's actually good. But yeah, while I will definitely say, yeah, you are more than free to here. I think this is this one right here. Yeah, you're more than free to. I recommend if you pick up a copy of this one. This one's really good. It's like a return to form. But I will also say go back and check out the original series as well, and that's my recommended for the week. Before we get into questions from Discord, I do want to kind of scrub back through, because we do have some super chats I want to bring up. We got one right here. Look, it said, bring back Stormwatch Battalion. Jackson King rules. Hey, I actually liked Battalion. He was a really cool character. Actually, Stormwatch as a whole was cool, and they did hang around for a while, because they're probably all that stuff was part of Wildstorm, and it was really good stuff. Not to mention Jackson King, which is an interesting character. That dude was like just wild. Dude was like he was like if you took Cable, but like if you used him in a way where Cable used his telepathic powers more often. He's like a black Cable.
Which is something I really want Cable to do more of.
Yeah, like no, dude, 100%. Because I think I made some of y'all may or may not remember. I actually made a video about Battalion. Dude was a like. First off, dude had the blackest name. Jackson King. Like, god damn, brother.
I feel like that. I might. What was that one brother's name from Memphis Wrestling? That's who that's reminded me of. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Because it was something in that
along that line, yeah. Now, dude, look at this. Look at that man. Look at that brother. God damn.
Why you look like Cygor, bruh?
Yeah, right. Well, no. Okay, so what he did, he had like the battle armor, and like so the suit is it helps enhance his telepathic abilities.
Right.
Yeah. So like, but yeah, dude, and he used to channel his telepathy and telekinesis through his guns, which was like really cool. It was 90s as fuck, but I mean it was cool. Here, let me go back a little bit more, because I think we might have one or two more back here that I might have missed. Yes! There are some I missed. We got one from the homie Poe Archery Media. out here. Homie Antoine Ghost Mitchell out here. Says, sending love to you, beautiful brothers, and the rest of Blerd Co. have been having to miss the show because of vending and art jobs. Hey, we appreciate you because I know you out here trying to get that. You out here in iced tea mode. HUSTLER hustler. I know you out here, so I ain't mad at you. Hey, we love you, brother. We love you, brother. And I hope all is going well. I've been off Facebook and most of social media for that matter, just because I've just been all over the place. But I need to get up with you. We got Sucked with the $4.99 said it was called Beasties in Canada, and you got made fun of hard in school if you had no Beasties toys. P.S. I finally saw Wicked City. Oh snap! Okay, so what if you haven't been keeping up? This super chat is talking about we were talking about Beast Wars. Which I think is just crazy. It was called Beasties in Canada. That's crazy. I want to put some out here. Oh, because I want to read. Because I know some people think I'm a Transformers hater. I'm not. I love Transformers. I'm just very selective about my Transformers. I would love to be a guy who could say I loved everything Transformers. But see, I also am aware that there was a little something called Transformers Headmasters that existed, and it was weird as fuck. And the way you looked at me, Carter, tells me you have no clue what that is.
Don't. I'm still laughing at this comment somebody made about about our boy Rocky saying he spin kicked in the middle of the ring and somehow Assassin's Creed dove over the ropes backward.
He did. That he did.
He got killed doing something he does every week.
Dude, it was dumb. It was so dumb. It really was. And I challenge you. I challenge anyone to try and convince me otherwise.
It's just wrong. It's sad because he's such a better character in the comic, bro. No,
he is. He's 100% a better character in the comic. But yeah, for those who don't know, what was it? I'm trying to remember, like, because I think Headmasters was like a Japanese only thing. I don't think they ever released it.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it was. Well, and to be fair, if I remember correctly, it's technically part of the rebirth era of Transformers. Like after the Transformers movie, I think they did actually release some of it, but I think they did it in a way that, like, all I know is I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It was really strange. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that was good.
I didn't know there were so many different eras of it because I had the movie because I had it on VHS. So I went from that movie, Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and whichever random one they would play on Toonami. I think one was Armada, and then they had another one after that.
Yeah, there was Transformers Armada. I forget the name of the one that came after. They were like more CG animated shows.
Well, no. These were more like an actual like anime. That's why when I see people talking, when you brought up like Japan and shit, I thought you may have been something along those lines, but no. Okay.
Well, okay. So the thing about those, the thing about Transformers, okay, so it was Transformers Armada. What was the one that came after? There was one that came after. I mean, to be fair, all the Transformers stuff comes out of Japan. Transformers is technically an anime, so but they don't release everything that they come out with. If that makes any sense to anybody, they don't release every single thing that comes out over there, over here. But it was a part of that's what it was. It was part of the Unicron trilogy. That's what it was. There was because it was what was it? What was the one that came after it? Because it was Transform Energon. That was what it was called. Transformers Energon. That was the other one. I was blanking on whatever the fuck the other one was called. Anyway, but yeah, that's why I didn't bring up the trailer. Because hell, like someone was trying to talk to me about Indiana Jones. I actually haven't even watched the Indiana Jones trailer yet. If you want to ask me about Cocaine Bear, I can talk to you about Cocaine Bear. Because I want to see that. I actually want to see Cocaine Bear. I want to see that movie real bad. I want to see I want to see that shit today. Oh, and Cybertron. Thank you. Transformer Cybertron. Thank you. But yeah, I like Transformers. It's just I'm really selective about the Transformers that I consume. What was the yeah, Discord. Let's look at the Discord real quick and see if we got any questions. I'm pretty sure we do. We got one from Rip. This one's from Rough Rider, who, by the way, Rough Rider, if you watch this, please go get your Discord situation taken care of, because as of Friday, Friday morning, huh? Yeah.
I had to go ahead and get him up out of there.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. So I know his account is still hacked as of yesterday, because I got a DM yesterday morning from him, the second of which, it was 2 days in a row actually. I got one Thursday and I got one Friday, a DM from him on Discord trying to get me to join some porn Discord. So yeah, please go eat shit. But I will answer your question. This is going to be weird, but Rough Rider asked if you could recast your favorite Star Trek crew with Marvel characters, who would your crews be? That one's kind of in-depth. It would take a lot more time for me to dig into, but I'll just say this. Give me... Because I love... Well, man, that's a tough one. Because, I mean, what's my favorite show? Favorite crew? That's tough. Okay, I tell you what. We'll do it this way. So let's go with we'll start with commanding officers. Benjamin J. Sisko. Bishop. That's the easy one. Jambalaya Jesus is Bishop. What?
What?
You have to watch DS9. You just have to watch DS9 to get it. Jambalaya Jesus, though. He out here. Anyway, let's go with Kira. Kira. Who would Kira be? I'd make Kira Psylocke, maybe. Let's see here. Who else? Who's another character? I'm gonna mostly stick to like the crew. I'm not going into all of them. Because it's too many fucking characters. If I'm being brutally, terribly and brutally honest. Let's see here. Here we go. Odo. Morph. There you go. That's an easy one. Low hanging fruit. Jadzia Dax. That's a tough one. That's actually a tough one, because Dax is an unusual character because of the fact that Dax is technically an alien symbiote, or technically called an alien symbiont. And they take over the bodies of other people. So Dax can pretty much be anybody. But the way I feel about Dax as a character, whether it's the regardless of which version of the character it is, I don't really know. That's a tough one. That is actually a tough one. That one actually kind of stumps me. Not gonna lie to you. Actually, let's skip Dax. Let's skip Dax for right now. Let's go with Julian Bashir, the Good Doctor, on the ship. I will say the Good Doctor should probably be somebody like Hank McCoy. There you go. And then where was oh god, where was my boy? What happened to my boy? Technically, Worf was on DS9 as well after a while. Who could be a good Worf? You know what? Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth. There you go. I'm jumping around. See I got you there. And I guess if you wanted to do like Quark. Ugh, Quark's a weird one. I don't know. Hell, Wolverine could be Quark.
From Ratchet and Clank?
No, I'm talking about Deep Space Nine. Oh, and O'Brien Banshee. There you go. I'll have to skip Dax because that one's just a weird one. I deep down I'm inclined to say a trans character just because of the nature of, or I won't say trans, maybe like a gender fluid character just based on the nature of or non-binary character, the nature of how Dax works as a character, and it just is what it is. So I'll have to bypass that one. Let's go to the Elite X1. Scratched out that one. Let's see. So I'm assuming that one doesn't need to be answered. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So Elite X1 says, you see Bow Wow trying to interrupt Jade Cargill on AEW this week? Dude got no crowd reaction. Any thoughts on where this angle will go with him and her? No idea, honestly. No idea. I feel like no one knows who Bow Wow is anymore nowadays. He's not somebody who's in the public eye. While the audience will react to Jade Cargill, they're not going to react to Bow Wow because they're like, who the fuck is that? Like, who's he? I mean, black audiences will know who he is, but like the casual wrestling fan, the cross section between between even diehard wrestling fans and fans of Bow Wow, or people who at least recognize Bow Wow, there's like that much of a crossover.
Oh no,
and I'm being generous.
I think they'll recognize Little Bow Wow. They just won't care.
There's that too. Oh, you know what they'll do? They'll think, wait a minute, what's Chris Brown doing here? Yes, Chris Brown been in the news lately.
I cannot do this with you today, sir.
I'm sorry.
I cannot.
Hey, man, I don't got any beef with Chris Brown. He never hit me. Anyway, Kidama says, what are your feelings about the return of the Extreme X-Men? I'm fine with it. I liked Extreme X-Men. I just hope it's good. That's my only reaction. Urban Prince of Strong Style says, hey, do you think Luke Cage screwed himself over not giving the villains a second chance, unlike Daredevil? Yes and no. I feel like Luke Cage knew he couldn't use... Here's the thing. Let's address this. Luke Cage is a black man being the mayor of New York. He's a superhero and vigilante. He's already fighting an uphill battle as is trying to be the mayor of New York. He don't need to make his job any harder by using the same criminals that Wilson Fisk used. Now, granted, I think that he should have done something with them. I think Daredevil taking them off his hands, I wonder if at some point maybe him and Daredevil talked about it, because we know for a fact Daredevil has been having conversations with Luke Cage. So I do wonder. And we do know who a lot of those characters are, who he got. We do know the Stegron did actually go with them. So did Agony. So did Stiltman. So did Bullet, a bunch of other characters. We'll learn more about who in the next issue, because they've already kind of put out the previews for it. I think that issue comes out this coming week. So we'll learn more.
And this isn't the first time that this has happened, because he reacted pretty much the exact same way when he was the leader of the Thunderbolts team beforehand, which a lot of you all may have forgotten about. But just look up Jeff Parker's Thunderbolts run. It's
he wasn't crazy about working with villains then either. So,
and in his defense, one of those villains was Crossbones.
That is true. That is well. Here, you know what? I want to addendum to that. It's not so much that he didn't want to work with them. It wasn't so much he didn't want to work with villains. He didn't want to work with specific villains. And he did want to help the ones that did, like the ones who he knew genuinely wanted to reform, he did want to work with. But yeah, people like Crossbones, no, I don't blame him. You don't trust Crossbones, ever. We're going to move on. I know Kudama has another question there, but since I answered their question from last week, and they always leave a question every week, I will get that one next week. Try not to read not duplicate questions, but questions from duplicate people, because that's how we wind up being here for like 3 hours. Let's see here. Now, wait, I saw someone say Cypher for Dax. Which one?
Geordie LaForge can be Cyclops. Who is Geordie LaForge?
Reading Rainbow, Carter.
Oh, that was the LeVar Burton name?
Yeah, that was his name on the show. He was Geordie LaForge.
Okay.
But let's move on to we're now in the questions from the chat section. So I hope I think okay. I saw someone say something. You need somebody honorable as Worf. Here's the thing, Trimble. Did you read Age of Apocalypse? Because I said Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth. Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth is actually a good guy. Like, he's not a bad guy. He's actually an honorable person. He's actually the polar opposite of, like, honestly, I would say while yes, they kind of did that with him in Axis, even that I would even say the Age of Apocalypse version of Sabretooth is even more honorable than the Axis version. And the Axis version was actually quite honorable. So yeah, I would say go back and read Age of Apocalypse, you'll know what I'm talking about. But let's move on.
I had to scroll up, but I actually found something from Bill 93505. Have you guys seen?
Oh, okay. I was gonna highlight it, but I was gonna say give me a chance to find that. But
Yeah. You're gonna scroll up a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Goddamn. Yeah. This is. Man. Lord. Jesus. Because I found a question that I can just immediately answer. Okay. Here. I see it. Is this the one about Old Lady Aurora?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Go ahead. You can read it.
Too late because I was trying to scroll and find the question you were talking about. All right.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Old Lady Aurora in the cover of Storm in the Brotherhood? She got a modified Cerebro seat. Also is the white-haired girl Luminous. She has Wanda's magic and Pietro's speed.
I mean, I would say I always believe in Occam's razor, so the solution that has the least amount of moving parts is typically the correct one. And, yeah. Probably. I saw the solicit. It looked cool. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I saw it. It looked interesting. I feel like it's one of those situations where with everything going on in my life right now, I'll talk about Sins of Sinister when it comes up. I'm really not in a hurry to talk about Sins of Sinister. Not because I'm not interested, but just because I already know I'm probably going to be talking about it a lot come, was it January, February when it drops? And just based on my experience with Judgment Day, how much time I spent just talking about Judgment Day, I foresee the same thing happening yet again. And while I'm not against the idea of it, it's just that I don't want to feel the way I feel about Sins of Sinister that I began to feel about Judgment Day by the time I got to the end of it, because I was so dialed into it and talking about it so much to the point that by the time it was almost over, I was kind of ready for it to be over. Like, I was kind of ready to not talk about it anymore, even though I liked it a lot. And it's kind of the bane of what I do. You spend more time doing that, and yeah. It's kind of like, for those of you who follow, like, people who stream video games and stuff, like, but they stream, like, only the one video, like Carter or someone, I'm talking about, like, Dead by Daylight people. There's so many people I follow that stream Dead by Daylight, and that's really all they play. And sometimes when they talk about it, you just see the life come out of their eyes.
Some of them have gone out and said on record, I fucking hate this game, but this is my job.
Oh, yeah. Zubat. Zubat is one of the prime ones. Like, Zubat constantly talks about how terrible the game is, but it's what makes him money. So, there you go. Drake45 says, how do you feel about Detective Comics Annual 2022 letting people...
He's talking about readers. He's talking about us. Letting us know.
Oh, why Gotham is the way it is since the 1800s. I didn't read Detective Comics Annual 2022, so I have no frame of reference. Carter, did you read it?
I tend to ignore annuals, but the fact that Gotham is the way it is, the reasoning being it's been stuck in a mental loop, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, whenever a comic comes in and gives context to something,
yeah,
it never really, I mean, unless it's bad context, I mean, usually, and that's kind of what you have to do with comics, being what they are and how long they have run.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to end up recontextualizing stuff. And that's a lot of what we get now is, like, stuff going back, getting recontextualized. Gamora Skipper said, isn't that just the Starjammers? Like, talking about putting the X-Men in space? Sort of. Though I could have just said the Starjammers. They're not really mutants, though. Let's see. Where is...
Ernie does not watch True Talent anymore. I don't think he can't.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I do not watch True Talent anymore. Well, and the reason why is because that motherfucker gets on my nerves. All that dude does is complain and bitch and moan and whine. Every video is him bitching about the way survivors play. But it's like, dude, I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, anybody could bitch about the way that he plays. It's like,
basically the reason that we just talked about, like you said, Zubat said that he fucking hates the game, but it's his
he still
job.
plays
This is what makes him money.
Yeah.
But I don't think Zubat says it all the.
Oh, well, no.
Like
I'll put it like this:
does.
when something dumb happens in the game, or the game like remember how like sometimes you would complain, like stuff that you would complain about in the game. That's what Zubat complains about. He'll just say this game's dog shit, and he'll say it. He don't care. He'll be like, this game's fucking dog shit. Like I was watching him play the other day, and like something happened where like Huntress threw a hatchet at him, and he was behind, like he had turned a corner and was a whole 5 feet away from where the hatchet was, and it downed him, and he was like, this game's dog shit. He's still playing it, though. But no, True Talent does complain about the game a lot. I'm like, dude, just go play Elden Ring. Go play Elden Ring. You liked Elden Ring. But no, let's see here. What else we got here? I'm going to try to...
I feel like we talked about that, though.
What's that?
Gamora Skipper. Keanu Reeves recently said that he wants to play John Constantine again. And what do you think of him in that role?
Yeah, we've talked about before. I don't hate Keanu Reeves as Constantine. I think I've said before that I don't have any beef with Constantine as a movie with Keanu Reeves. I liked when the movie, like, I'll briefly go over this because I think we literally talked about this like a couple of weeks ago. But the Keanu Reeves version of Constantine, when I first saw that movie, I loved it because I had no frame of reference for Hellblazer. I'd never read the Hellblazer comics. And then after the movie, like what usually happens to a lot of people with comic book movies, you get curious. So I went and started reading Hellblazer comics. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? And then I realized, oh, this is what he's supposed to be like. And then I kind of started to look down on the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie for a while. And then one day I just kind of got over it, and I just started liking it again. Because I was like, you know what? These things can exist. It's kind of like how a lot of our favorite things, a lot of people don't realize, aren't the original thing. You know, like a lot of people like claim that they hate when characters pass on mantles, but some of their favorite characters are characters who had a mantle passed on to them. That's why I always laugh when people say that they hate whoever the newest Green Lantern is and wish they would just stop making new Green Lanterns. But here's the thing. If they did that, you never would have gotten Hal Jordan because he's not the original Green Lantern. You wouldn't have Barry Allen or Wally West because they're not the original Flashes. Alan Scott is. This is what it is.
All right. I actually want to read this super chat because it's asking me a question, and I'm going to actually ask you a question after I answer this question. It's a 1999 super chat from Nerdlarge saying, how are we feeling about Blue Beetle getting an official release date of 8/18/23 and poster today at CCXP? Also, speaking of Indiana Jones, has Carter finally watched an entire Indiana Jones movie? I have not. Ernie, which one would you recommend? Because I would literally cut that joint on right after we end this.
I really like Temple of Doom.
Is that the one with not Samuel, Jesus Christ, I was going to say Samuel L. Jackson, but I actually meant old white man, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, James Bond.
No, that's The Last Crusade. You might like The Last Crusade. I mean, I like it too. It's just that it's not my favorite.
So Temple of Doom. Gotcha.
Temple of Doom. Now, and for context, Temple of Doom is in fact a prequel. It's a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. But Temple of Doom came out second. So there you go.
Okay. Did Raiders of the Lost Ark come out first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Temple of Doom. Gotcha.
Temple of Doom, Temple of Doom was the sequel, and then it turned out, like, and I didn't learn this till I was good and grown. I had seen Temple of Doom like a million times, never put two and two together that it was a prequel. That is in fact a prequel. A lot of people don't like Temple of Doom, but I do. Okay, so you know all the memes like cover your heart and like ripping people's hearts out of their chests and shit, and the whole thing with like Indiana Jones like cutting the bridge and people falling and going like that. That comes from Temple of Doom. Also is where Short Round comes from, who's going to be in the new Indiana Jones, I think.
I don't know what Crystal Skull means, but someone said, "Oh Lord, no." I was recommended to start with Crystal Skull, but Trimble does said, "Oh Lord, no." What is Crystal Skull?
Crystal Skull is the fourth movie.
Okay.
I don't hate it because I kind of figured out what I figured out the ending around the beginning of the movie.
Lord.
Spoilers for a movie that's like you probably will never see and that is a much lauded movie. Okay, so the whole thing is aliens. It's aliens. The crystal skull it's an alien thing.
Okay.
It reveals that aliens exist in the world of Indiana Jones. But I figured it out like within the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
And like everybody else was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, I saw this coming. It's kind of like it reminds me of what happened when I first saw The Village in theaters. Like I remember the M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village, where like the movie opens on someone's gravestone and specifically on what date it is. And I literally leaned over to my still my best friend, even though he's passed. My best friend Terrence, I leaned over to him and was like, wouldn't it be funny if this movie doesn't take place at the time that it says it does? And then like you get to like the third act of the movie and you're like, oh. And he literally turned and looked at me and was like, motherfucker. So yeah, spoilers for another like 20-year-old movie, damn near. Also, Nerd Large, thank you for that. 1999 in the super chat. Anyway, I don't have any opinions about the Blue Beetle getting a release date or the poster. It's a poster. It's okay. It's not I don't know. It didn't like show the character or anything. It was the scarab. It's a picture of the scarab. Cool. I mean, it's nice. I don't know. I'm gonna need. Here's the thing. I'm gonna go see it regardless because I love Blue Beetle. But I'm gonna need to see a trailer. That's all I'm saying. I need to see a trailer. Something. Other than those Just Jared set photos. Also, Chi-Town Dan, the Night Skin King, says, no question, just want to show some love to my fellow birthday week crew. Hey, happy birthday, my guy. I don't know if is it today or is it just or sometime between then and there. Either way, happy early or belated birthday, depending on on when. Let's see here. We got another one here from the Elite X1 with the $5 super chat. Says, how do you feel about the idea of Western comics becoming more like manga and progressing with new characters and stories instead of maintaining status quo? I'm fine with it. I just think no one else is.
Growth. That's all I want is growth.
Nah, he don't want growth. He only wants it when it's a certain way. He wants it when it's a certain way.
Honestly, to get away from the status quo, I would absolutely take any kind of growth you can give me as long as it's I like progression more than regression.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I get that. But I'm going to tell you why regression happens. Regression happens because people don't like change.
I was going to say, I think you and I have had this conversation before.
Let me tell you something, Carter. I still remember all those people who were crying and singing the blues in my comments when House of X came out. Man, why can't they just go back to the 90s?
I remember that. I remember that.
Every time somebody changed, because why do you think they keep putting Spider-Man back in the original status quo? Because that's what people like. No matter how much people say they want to see Spider-Man grow, at the end of the day, they will always go back to Spider-Man being the way he was. And it's kind of the reason why Superman has never changed. Because people don't like to see their heroes change. Even though change is good and can be good. People don't like it. They don't like it. Even when they say they want change, nope, they don't really want change. They just want more of the same and the illusion of change. That's what they want. That's what they really want. But moving on along. Let's see here.
They better not put the X-Men back in the mansion. I know that much.
You know they will. You know they're going to. You better go ahead and get ready for it. Let's see here. Has anyone watched the Wednesday series? It is fire. I have watched it. I actually finished it a few days ago.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't like it at first. I was a little iffy. Okay, so let me preface everything I say with I'm a huge critic of Tim Burton, and largely because he gets a lot of credit for shit he never did. A lot of people like to give him credit. Like, everybody's like, oh, man, dude, I love Tim Burton movies. And then you ask them what their favorite movie is by Tim Burton.
Uh-oh.
You know what the first movie comes out their mouth?
You might fuck me up just right now. Oh, wait, what?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize the person who directed Nightmare Before Christmas was not Tim Burton. It was Henry Selick. Tim Burton did not direct. He did. I don't even think. Oh, I want to be clear on this. When I'm actually pulling it up right now.
Well, since you didn't just fuck my head up just now, did he at least do the 2 Adam Sandler movies?
Hold on. I will. Let's see. I'm pulling it up now. No. He directed, okay, so here's the thing. So there's Addams Family, which was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld.
Okay.
And there's Addams Family Values, also directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. I'll tell you what he did do with Nightmare Before Christmas. He produced it. That was it. Coraline. A lot of people like to give him credit for Coraline. He did not direct Coraline. Matter of fact, Coraline was also directed by Henry Selick, the same guy who directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
Go ahead and say the only thing he did was Edward Scissorhands.
I mean, he did the Batman movies.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so here's a movie a lot of people...
You ain't told me otherwise on them motherfuckers.
Oh, no. I'm actually surprised that... Because a lot of people love to give him credit for The Nightmare Before Christmas, but don't want to give him credit for the movie he actually did make, and that was The Corpse Bride, which is just okay.
I couldn't finish it.
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't the hugest fan. It's okay. Frankenweenie, he made that one. He made Frankenweenie, but no one wants to give him credit for Paranorman, which actually was good. Like, Paranorman was actually good and didn't get the props it deserved. But
I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, Paranorman was actually legit, but he didn't do that one either. A lot of people love getting Tim Burton credit for shit he did not make.
Wait. Did he do Sleepy Hollow with Christina Ricci?
I believe.
I really like that movie. Okay.
He did do that. But no, a lot of people. Oh, I saw someone in the chat said James and the Giant Peach, also by Henry Selick.
What, the anime? Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, James and the Giant Peach, also by Henry Selick.
Yeah, I think my favorite movie is Sleepy Hollow. At least he did that one. I give him that one.
Yeah, I think Sleepy Hollow was Tim Burton, because it had his earmarks all over them. The thing is, Tim Burton historically doesn't have a lot of diversity and inclusion in his movies and stuff. And even he's come out and openly said he doesn't like to. He doesn't like it. He said he doesn't like having diversity in his stuff. So it actually surprised me when it came out that he was doing the Wednesday series, and the entirety of the Addams Family are Puerto Rican or Hispanic or or otherwise of some sort of Latin descent, which I thought was incredibly awesome. But to be fair, Gomez Adams' name is Gomez for a reason. Putting that out there. It ain't because he's white. But no, so I thought that was cool. There was some criticism I saw people have about the show, saying that they hated that the only 2 black characters in the show are bullies and villains. Not true. I would tell you to continue watching. While yes, I think what's the character's name? Bianca, who is like the bully, one of Wednesday's bullies at Nevermore. You learn a lot more about her character, and she gets a lot of growth. And not gonna say how, but just know she doesn't stay a bully for the entirety of the show. She doesn't even make it to the halfway mark of the show as a bully. And then the one black kid who was like who worked at the Pilgrim World. by about the halfway mark, he's no longer a bully either. It's one of those deals where, like, characters are getting to know one another. And let's be fair, Wednesday is not a likable person. Let's just put that out there. I know a lot of people didn't like the show because they felt that Wednesday was just too unlikable. But here's the thing. If you put the Addams Family characters around normal people, even people who are abnormal but just not like them, like, because in the show, it's revealed that Nevermore isn't full of people who are just like the Addams Family. Yeah, they're supernatural, but they're not weird. They're not obsessed with death and being macabre the way the Addams... Like, honestly, Gomez and Morticia are weird. They were considered weird by the people at Nevermore when they went there. So that should tell you something. So Wednesday, it shouldn't surprise you that, yeah... And I'm not gonna lie, Wednesday makes some dumb decisions in the show. She's, honestly, it's one of those shows... You know what it reminds me of? Kind of reminds me of Naruto, where the show is named after the main character, but I don't like the main character. Or I won't say I don't dislike Naruto. I just think he's the least interesting character. That's kind of how Wednesday is, where Wednesday is the least interesting character in her own show. I think all of the supporting casts are way more interesting than her and are far more likable than she is. But I think that's on purpose. Because I don't think you're really supposed to like Wednesday. She's not a person you should want to hang out with, because she could very well likely try to kill you or hurt you in some way just for being you. But that said, moving on along. So honestly, can you really bully Wednesday though? Not really. I mean, and honestly, she invites it. But yeah. Also, Jenna Ortega. Here's the thing. I want to highlight something here, because there's a lot of colorism in the Latin community, and I want to be incredibly clear when I say this. So Jenna Ortega, and I want to make sure this is understood. Jenna Ortega is Mexican and Puerto Rican. It's not her fault that she is lighter skinned than most people, and let's also remember, she's supposed to be kind of dead. Like she's supposed to have the sickly, light, like very ashy, pale look. So when you see Jenna Ortega, like in Wednesday, that's how she's supposed to look. That's not how she looks normally walking around. I mean, let's be real here. The characters of the Addams Family, just based on their origins, they should be Latin of some sort. And honestly, Raul Julia, let's not forget, a lot of people, because I know a lot of people, they got mad when they found out that Gomez was going to be played by a Puerto Rican in this. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But yeah, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. A lot of people forget Raul Julia was Puerto Rican. The guy who played Gomez in the Addams Family movies, he was Puerto Rican. So,
I always thought the complaint with the new Gomez was that he wasn't Raul Julia in the sense of he was ugly. When if you watch the originals, that was the point.
Well, yeah, no, the original
he wasn't
comic.
As appealing.
Well, no, okay, so the Addams, and a lot of people, their knowledge of Addams Family comes from
those two
movies and the old TV show. But a lot of people forget Addams Family was a comic first. And in the comic, Gomez looks a lot like he does in Wednesday. Yeah, like he does in Wednesday. And the recent CG animated. Luis Guzman, who plays him in the Wednesday show. Like, honestly, here, and I'm going to pull up something. Original Gomez Addams. I'm going to pull this up, because I want y'all to see this. This, like, I remember when they made the new animated one. Yeah. And people got upset. Like, people were getting tilted. Like, people were legitimately tilted that Gomez looked the way he looked. But what a lot of people
gotta be mad about something.
Oh, Carter, we lost you. I don't know what happened there. I think we're still good on, it wasn't us. I think it was on his end. Maybe, I don't know. I think he might have it might have been another power issue. Maybe. I don't know. I know that happened before. Oh, okay, yeah, Darkman, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about here. Okay, never mind. But no, here, we'll just do this until we can get him back. We'll do this for now until we can get Carter back. He got blipped. But yeah, so I think a lot of people get it twisted. The original, like here, I'm gonna put this up. It's a little blurry because the image I found it wasn't let's see if we can go back here real quick. Yeah, here it is. This image right here, this is what the original version of Gomez looked like. So if anything, they were being hyper accurate. Gomez isn't supposed to be like super fine and or anything of that nature. So I think a lot of people just got it twisted. Let's see here what else we got. I guess let's see here. Oh no, Raul Julia was great. I just think the thing about Raul Julia though is that people forget Raul Julia wasn't white. A lot of people think he was white. He was Puerto Rican. But that's why I always try to tell people that, yeah, man, you just never know sometimes. Yeah, it just is what it is. But yeah, and they do take some creative license. They do take some creative licenses. That's to be sure. Did he elaborate why he's not a fan of diversity? If I remember correctly, and here, I'm gonna pull this up because I don't want to be wrong. I actually want to pull up his words. So I don't want anyone to be able to say, yeah, because he said forced. Because this was back in 2016. Basically, he said, I remember back when I was a child watching the Brady Bunch and they started to get all politically correct. Like, okay, let's have an Asian child and a black. I used to get more offended by that than just, I grew up watching blaxploitation movies, right? And I said, that's great. I didn't go like, okay, there should be more white people in these movies. That is his words. That's something he said. That is how he responded to the question of adding diversity to movies. Here, just got a message from Carter. Let's see what he says. Oh, he said it was the internet. His internet blinked, so I don't know if he's gonna be. Let's see here. So his internet kind of fucked on him a little bit. So there you go. But yeah, that's why he said. That is why he said. So yeah, he said because basically he doesn't like the idea of just adding black and brown characters just for the sake of adding, which it's one of those situations where in a roundabout way I kind of get where he was coming from, but at the same time I also get where he was coming from. I don't think to him it sounded crazy, but like to everyone else it sounds crazy, myself included, because where I understand that he felt that he doesn't want to just force black and brown characters into his stories where he feels they don't fit, it's also because he doesn't, I honestly believe he only knows what he knows about black and brown people, I'm sure largely comes from what he's seen on television. I'm positive of that. And you can kind of tell based on how he writes certain characters that are in Wednesday, namely Bianca and the other black kid whose name escapes me at the moment. But yeah, it is what it is. I honestly, I've never been the hugest fan of Tim Burton, so I'm not surprised by any of this. Let's see here. So speaking of Leguizamo, said what's up to him lately. Now he now wants to start talking about lack of diversity in Hollywood. Like, what the fuck? Where you been, bro? I mean, to be fair, I think he's talked about it for a while. He just doesn't get heard. Because I remember he used to talk about it in stand-up specials. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I feel like it's one of those deals where when you get older, you just stop giving a fuck. And I think that's kind of where John Leguizamo is right now. Let's see here. Let's see. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Ben Kingsley, though. So Ben Kingsley, yes. Ben Kingsley, if I'm not mistaken, he is technically of Middle Eastern descent. He is actually technically of English descent. I think the problem was the fact that you also put in Ben Kingsley with Jake Gyllenhaal. I think that was the bigger problem. Because, I mean, once again, it's one of those deals where a lot of people, you see someone and they don't look the way you expect people of that ethnicity to typically look. And it also doesn't help that I also think he's biracial. But you see someone, you imagine things being a certain way, and when you don't see them that way, you depict it in a person, you go, oh, wait a minute. It just is what it is. But, let's see here. Let's see. Nobody Extreme said, did he claim to be Puerto Rican, or did he just think he was Puerto Rican until he did his DNA? Wait, who are we talking about being Puerto Rican that's not Puerto Rican? Well, yeah, too, and I agree too. Don't put people in boxes. Yeah, don't put people in boxes. Yeah, no. I feel like it's easier for everybody if the boxes are left out. We leave the boxes out. No, we don't talk about the Prince of Persia movie. We do not. Yeah, I want to make sure I point to that. Yeah, no, and I'm right there with you. I feel like, me, personally, I think it's stupid. I don't think we should be upset about the fact that it's okay. I say this all the time with comics. When I talk about diversity and inclusion in comics, the golden age of comics was incredibly white. So too were the golden age of movies, literature, pretty much any form of entertainment. And now, younger generations are starting to make these things, and people that were not represented in those golden age eras, the eras of these forms of entertainment people think of as the golden age, they weren't represented then, so now they have the opportunity to do so. Or people who aren't of those ethnicities and cultures, they want to try and bring some inclusion where there was originally none. It's normal, because they did the same thing with the Comics Code Authority. The Comics Code Authority said you couldn't depict LGBTQ characters. If you did, you could not have your comic approved by the Comics Code Authority, thus your comic would probably not make it to a store. So that's why when the Comics Code Authority was abolished, that's when you started seeing all those changes, because they could. And a lot of the characters were coded a certain way, I think most people just didn't realize it, and now they're surprised. But hell, a lot of people don't remember, Iceman dated a whole trans person in the comics back in the early, I'm talking about I think it was the 70s, 80s, just because the way the character was written. There was a trans character in the old X-Men comics that it was a trans character. They just couldn't call them trans, and they had to do some wibbly-wobbly, wacky shenanigans shit to make it work, but to get around the Comics Code Authority, and nobody remembers that. So take that how you will. But anyways, I'm going to use this as an opportunity since Carter's not going to be able to come back. We're going to go ahead and stop the show. Because, yeah, I think it's that time. We're going to go ahead and stop here. I do want to make sure to remind everyone that don't forget the promo code at blerd.com. Go to the website. You want to pick up some stuff from blerd.com. You can use the promo code Blerd Without Fear to get 20% off your entire purchase. So go do that. Go check it out. They got some really cool stuff on there. Go out there, represent. It's all awesome stuff. Trust me, and very high quality. You have very likely seen me at some point in time wearing a lot of the various and sundry things that that come from that website. So make sure to go check it out. Let me turn that off here. We'll just dip out of that. But yeah, I'll be back. We'll be back next week. I guess leave some happy birthdays for Carter because his birthday is coming up this Monday on December the 5th. And we will be back for a very special birthday edition of the Blerd Cave next Saturday, the 10th, because it'll technically be my birthday as well, and we'll also be celebrating Carter's as well on a more belated front, so we didn't really get to do a whole lot of it here. We'll see you all next time, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you all are staying happy, safe, sane, healthy, all that good stuff. And yeah, we will see you all next time for Earth's Mighty subscribers, for Blerd Club, for Blerd Koa, for Carter Presents. I am the Blerd Without Fear. And Tim Burton, you can go to hell.